on the doc.org. On the doc with Pastor Troy right now, every Tuesday and Thursday. Episodes dropping that will change your life, will get you out of the shallows and into the deep. We're going to have a great conversation today, and we're going to try to propel that faith. Get it with us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Facebook, Roku, Rumble, and SermonNet. And we have 5 Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, Getter, social media sites where we can have conversation with you. So get out there and do that. But mostly what we want to do is get connected, watch us, and then would you do us a favor? Would you subscribe, hit like, notify, tell other people, and get the notification so you always get our shows, and you'll do that. And this is kind of wrapping up our season 2 here. This is our last show for season 2. You will see some other shows follow up, and some of our best shows will come on. But look out for season 3. It's going to be coming. It's going to be a good one. But you want to go back and check out stuff. Go check it out. Share these with people, and there's so much good. If you're just getting with us, you're new to this, maybe John puts a show out. There's another season before this, and in this whole season, it's just incredible stuff. Go check it out. And how you can do that is you can go to onthedoc.org. Find that. We have everything archived. You can go to YouTube. We're archived on YouTube. Where else are we YouTube? Where else could they find us, Lucas? YouTube?
Rumble,
Rumbles, SermonNet,
yeah, Facebook,
yeah, and a lot of those have histories on them, so you can go to most of these. I think here, Spotify, iTunes clearly does.
Yeah,
Roku. We're gonna have better stuff on Roku next year, so we're fixing to have our own channel on there, not through SermonNet.
YouTube has all of them too.
YouTube has really good because, matter of fact, I was doing a history and we had lost some shows on SermonNet, and Lucas and I captured them back, sent them to him, and we had to reload them up on SermonNet. I think they may have lost some shows in the migration. I swear to you, I mean, or just something happened. It happens. But
sometimes things disappear and then reappear.
They
too.
do. I never. I mean, they do that all the time on like Facebook. Where to go and back, and it's like, go to Patreon and become a partner sponsor. We got House of Hope cups here today. We're featuring them, but we could be featuring you too. Go to Patreon, 4 partnership levels, 3 sponsorship levels. We'd love to talk to you about your Christian organization, your business. If you're a believer, we'd love to spotlight you and go find out how we can do that. And go to onthedoc.org or email us at info@onthedoc.org and do that. And I'm on set. I've got my lovely bride with me. Mother Beth, how are you doing?
Maybe somebody could sponsor more ergonomically correct chairs.
These are government chairs. These are expensive Springfield chairs.
They have all kinds of
so many levers. It takes 20 minutes.
And everything,
they go up, they go down, they go back, they go over. And
they're still.
I know.
Not.
I found out last night. I was in one of these, and it's the brown ones. You can actually just it'll slide the booty out. So if you got rump in the back. I don't have rump in the back. I got fat on the side.
Where do they have?
The other chair slips out.
One of those at?
The brown chairs. They have a knob on them, and the seat will slide forward and back. So if we got rump in the back, girls got rump in the back.
Like my car.
Yes, it will.
Like I got in my car today. Yeah. What's the deal?
Me?
I mean, yeah, it's like you were setting up, like you had it up as high as it would.
That's because
I want the seat down.
Well, that's because I pulled the seat forward to get the stuff out of the back, and it automatically rises.
Oh,
so I hadn't put it back down. I'm a low rider.
How is he driving this car?
She's driving because she's got a really nice sports car. She got 392 T8 Dodge Challenger that I get to drive sometimes. Right. John's been in it with me.
As long as you clean it,
yeah. John's been in it with
yes,
me.
It has
we also got clean.
It still smells. It still has a new
smell because you can't put food in it. Somebody got in the car while we were on the trip. I won't name the brother. I can't remember if it's Trevor or Trent. Got in the car and had their food in their hand, and I said, "Excuse me, you'll have to put that." They were in the car, and I thought, "You got to get that's going in the trunk." And he jumped right out. I said, "Mother Beth will find out. She'll smell it." Right in the trunk.
I didn't even let Bo ride in that car.
Her beloved dog of 16 years could not ride in her.
I think
car.
He rode in it once on an emergency.
Fully blanketed and covered and saturated.
Yes.
So got Mother Beth, got Lucas Winkler. Lucas, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're not sweating. He's trying to do the show and laundry today.
Yeah.
That's he runs back and forth.
Back and forth. He looks good. Hair and makeup didn't have to come back in or remake him. It's amazing.
No, if I did that.
Not today.
Yeah, if I did that, I would just be a big mess right now.
Lucas, how's your life these days? Good?
Oh, it's great.
All right.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy. He's jet setting someplace to run show for somebody, We can't keep up with him. He's producing or doing or shooting.
I can't even keep up with myself right now. So.
We're going to show some videos in this show. We've showed some in part 1 and 2. Just remind Lucas that you did a lot of those with Daniel and Lopez. Yeah. Tell us how to, when they see these videos, if a church or an organization or a business, guys, we paid for these, but they gave us very, very good rates.
We could do a show on Lucas and Daniel.
We need to do that. We don't do that. But you produce these. Tell us how to get a hold of you if they like these videos, want to do something for their organization.
Yeah, so the easiest way is go to produceperform.com.
All right. And if you forget that, go to info at on the doc. Ask us. We'll tell you the same thing.
Yeah.
We'll forward it to them. But when you see these videos today, we're going to emphasize this as we wrap up this show. I want you to know that Lucas has a life about that stuff beyond on the doc. So he's a techno wizard, not just because of here, because of what he can do. So the amazing Herrin House of Hope series on the doc season 2. This is the finale, Ministry in Action Spotlight, and we are in part 3. The backstory of the Herrin House of Hope. John, when we did the previous one in the last episode, the backstory on you, I told people that Herrin House Hope there at 112 North 14th Street, go check it out, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. I just said, you're a miracle of multiplication. If you go listen to the story, Gideon came to prison and testified and shared his faith, and you took a risk of responding, and since that day, God's moved you from the south side of Chicago, from prison to Southern Illinois. You're now living here. You're raising a family of 3 and married happily. And you're raising kids that aren't in fear of the things you grew up in fear, or your nephew grew up in fear, or experiencing what your brother had to experience in his life, the trauma of life of somebody living in the Chicago world. You're here now. And we highlighted in part 2 that you're now going back. You said you weren't going back to prison, but you've been going back to many prisons, and you're now speaking it to prisoners at the invitation of the, what do you call the deans or the commandants or the heads of the prisons, whatever programs they have. You're going in, and now you're telling me, I hear this in the break, that you're even working with NYU.
Correct.
New York University.
Recruited by NYU. NYU received a huge grant that's contracted with the Illinois Department of Corrections, Department of Labor, IDES, and other various vendors, network agencies, to have this mobile welding trailer that actually goes to different correctional centers. And there's like a 6-week intense cohort class where they actually get to have the material that's purchased for them to wear, the gear, they get to have hands-on training, and they become legit certified welders.
And one of the most
really
highest
It really
demand
is.
jobs right
There is,
now
yeah.
Right.
is a
There's
welder job.
good money.
And I'm
in
not
that.
talking about just here.
Yeah.
You can go to Alaska on the pipeline. You can go, you can go other places and
Yeah.
weld, and there are serious dollars.
Yeah.
Somebody that's a blue collar welder will make high white collar dollars.
We got since last year. There's a guy who's currently making $32 an hour right now.
Yeah.
Right now,
just
from who benefited from this welding class
That's
from
great.
incarceration. So there are many men doing really well. This is a really huge thing.
Yeah.
Nothing like this was available out there when I was incarcerated.
You know what's
That's
interesting
great.
is both of us have been a part of NYU. You probably don't know this about me, but
I don't know this about you.
Yeah. Okay, well, you're going to find out about you're going to
There
remember
we
the
go.
story in a second. So,
Oh, okay.
I spent, when I was in my 4th year of school, my 3rd year going in my 4th year of college, I have an economics and finance major. And normally economics and finance, most of us are head to Wall Street,
Oh, yeah.
commodities
I know
exchange, someplace to go in the investment world. I looked at that, and there was an NYU program for my junior summer, and I said I signed up for it. I went to Wall Street in New York. I stayed at NYU off campus, in one of their campus housing, actually. Stayed in campus housing, had a roommate, and what they did was they rotated you through the different American Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange. You worked with a couple different brokers, and you had different experiences. And so you would go work there on the weekends. You would have special speakers certain days. I think Wednesday we had special speakers. You'd be there. You'd be on the floor of the exchange on Monday running stuff. Tuesday you might be working with the broker. Each week was different. You'd be doing analysis. You'd be working on trades. The idea was to get you behind the scenes and see what the life was like. Then your last month of that summer, they would put you with the brokerage company, and you would kind of be what they call like a hawk. And so you're young, you don't know much, but you'd be paired with, say, John Steve's a broker there, and I'm working for you as a page, and he'd say, I'm going to give you these 5 companies, and over the next month, I'm going to evaluate you in this program about how you do and getting me information to help my clients be happy about investing in these 5 companies. And in the investment world, you make money on the up and the down. So if I knew it was going to go down, he would call and say, "We're going to get out, or we're going to buy on the market we're going to buy on the margin down, or if it's going to go up, I'm going to put people in it so they can see the upside." There was lots of leveraged positions. You didn't care if it was going up or down. He just wanted to know which way it's going. And honestly, the worst thing was static. If you could show it's not doing anything, he'd get people away from it, or it's a safe place for somebody. And so we would go to work in the morning. I'd be up at 5:30, 6 in the morning before the internet. There was like Commodore 64s and that was it, and a little bit of email. But we had to get up and study every newspaper that was out, read stuff, have reports ready on their desk at 7. Trading started at 9:30. They would read our stuff and they'd tell us what we did good, wrong. Don't get me wrong, they'd read stuff too, but we were doing the research assistant. And so he would when the market opened, he's calling his clients right before and saying, "Hey, we got this recommendation. We got this thing. You need to get out of this, or let's do a leverage down on this." And that's my work there, Mm-hmm. And they were teaching us how to go, if we went back to Illinois and we're a broker, how to do the work to kind of study funds and things. And I did that every day. And then at the end of the day, when the day was over at 3:30, 4 o'clock, when the market closed, then it wasn't over. You had to go out to the bars and to the restaurants where people hung out, and everybody lives in New York. So if you knew that company and you tried to learn from their doormen and people where they went to get their drinks. So you would go hang out in the bar and you'd be nobody. You just sit in the back, and then you'd see like their CFO come down, and you get close enough to them at the bar table where you could hear their conversations or learn things about them, or say, "Can I buy you a drink?" Or you find another flunky and get them a little going. And next thing you know, you got them talking about, "Hey, we're fixing to sell a bunch of stuff," or "Man, we're in trouble. We broke stuff, we're going to pay a bunch of money out." So you go back the next day and say, "Hey, I heard so-and-so drinking last night. We got to get out." And the next day you beat the news and you're out and you're making money. And I learned I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning. You had to be out partying, and not partying, but drinking with them, because you got to saturate them to get it. Right. And then one day I was on a Saturday workshop, and one of the brokers said, "Some of you are going to stay in this world. Some of you are going to go back home to small town and be a little broker or something." And he said, "Here's how you make the decision. You got 2 choices. You can eat well or sleep well. If you want to stay here and run the race, you're gonna eat really well. You make big leverage deals. But if you need to sleep well, go back home, and then you can breathe a little bit, and it's different." And I said, "Then I've got to get some sleep." Now I know I'm fat and I eat well, but that day I wanted to sleep well, and I decided then to return to Southern Illinois and take over my grandfather's insurance business and sell local securities, just in a moment like that. So, House of Hope, one moment changed your life. Respond to a Gideon. Yeah. That moment changed my life. Yeah. And NYU. Yeah. I was at NYU workshop there for a summer.
If you would have asked me 10 years ago, would you ever see yourself recruited by NYU, or foresee yourself emailing them an invoice so they can pay you, I would say you're out of your mind.
You're out of your mind. Not even possible. Yeah. The amazing Herrin House of Hope and Director John.
Just a humble experience.
Yeah, amazing. As we take a look at this, I'm going to tell you how we got started was, I'm going to tell you my backstory, a little bit of this, because I'm responsible for this. I left Herrin to go to seminary. Later on, I came back to work here, got a call into ministry, left the economics and finance insurance business, and went into ministry. And right when I did that, I was still running that insurance agency and pastoring the Energy Methodist and Colt Methodist churches. Met my wife, we were pastoring together, but I was also an insurance and investment guy. So I had 2 years before I had to make a decision. I talked to him, and I said, "I'm a local pastor, but I'll go to seminary." And I was in the Ministerial Alliance here. Right. I attended. I was busy. I was a business guy and a pastor of a know-nothing church. Father Ken was was still a part of it then. There was a couple others. The Christian church pastor at the time was still there. A couple were there. Steve McEwen was associate, not the head pastor at that time. Mm-hmm. But I went to the meetings. I kept my mouth shut. But every meeting they would whine about people working each church for food, working each church for resources, working each church for a pair of tennis shoes. We had professionals that would just go from church to church to church. We'd find out we all gave them money, and we would all be mad. And actually, hearts were getting hard toward people that were grifting on the need of the church. That was my last meeting. Took off seminary, came back here 20 years later, 2010. Walked in as the pastor of Community Faith Church, now an independent church, no longer Methodist. This church never was, but I was no longer Methodist. I went to the same Ministerial Alliance meeting. Ken invited me. Steve's now a pastor. He's a colleague of mine at the time. And I sat down, and they began to talk about the people hitting each church up, begging for money, begging for this. And I looked at Steve about 10 minutes into it, and McEwen looked at me and said, yes, we're talking about the exact thing when you left. And since I had been gone, I'm a church planner. We'd planted churches we'd gone to Highland, then we'd gone to Waterloo. And in each of those places, we started the Highland Area Christian Service Ministry. We were part of that incredible ministry. In Waterloo, we started another thing. Every place we went, in Pawnee, we had the Pawnee Christian Service Ministry. And I got in here, and these guys are whining about this. And I said, dude, I've been 3 places, and we've conquered this thing. How can you still be talking about this? And they said, we are. And I said, I just shared the story of it. And they said, are you serious? I said, next Wednesday, be here. We've got a van. I put them in the van, drove them all the way to Highland, gave them a full tour, showed them everything. And it's a successful organization like this. It's a different footprint, different model, but just amazing what had happened. And I've been gone there for a while. And on the way back, they just said, hey, what's it going to take? And I said, just everybody work together. And we did the first Family Fun Day. We raised some money to get something to work with. And I became the Family Fun Day czar. And everybody agreed to just do whatever I said because I was really good at raising money. Hands of Hope started with us raising money a certain way through telethon, through the big concert event. We did it. We raised a ton of money. And then I was working in those things with Ed Hoke, myself, and Scott. Scott from that. And we had other pastors that were involved. Were very good involved. But the 3 of us were the 3 amigos. Yeah. And we formed the corporation and all this. And people just let us go. And next thing you know, we're interviewing you.
Right.
Because we're past the year. We're ready to start. And we're in our second Family Fun Day, which is going to be the launch Sunday. And so last year was our 11th. This will be our 12th this year. 12th this year, yeah. And it's from me seeing nothing happen. And then, as McEwen said, he says, he told me a few years ago, he says, you just have a way of putting things on your back and forcing people over the line. I was a defensive tackle. I see the ball back there. I'm going to go get it. And we have really worked together incredibly as a Ministerial Alliance to see this thing happen.
Very active Ministerial Alliance.
Yeah, very active. We got a lot of faces have changed. I'm now the old guy.
Yeah.
Mike's retired. Mike's retired though. Mike was gone when I was here. Came back and Tom. Okay. I'm trying to think. Nobody precedes me. I mean, Mike's been here a while, but I'm now the senior pastor here. I think because McEwen retired
and Ken passed away.
Ken passed away.
Yeah. Todd Hogg.
No.
Really? He followed
Todd replaced me at Energy Methodist Church.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Todd followed me.
Yeah.
But Todd's close. I mean,
yes,
Todd.
Close.
So Todd was who came behind me. Actually, there was a guy 1 year between us who fell off a roof and and then died later as a result of it. He was up on the roof and fell. He didn't die from the fall then, but later on he succumbed to that. He was a good man, a retired pastor. And then Todd Hawk come in. So I'm just trying to think of it. Terry, when Terry retired recently, Terry was a part then from West Monroe.
Terry Griffin.
Terry Griffin would be another one that knows me from those days. But just amazing what God's doing. Somebody's at our door. Would you get that, Lucas? Tell them that we're having a good time here.
Unless it's the pizza guy.
Is it the pizza guy?
I don't know.
Is it a pizza? No, it's not a pizza. So I've just seen amazing things happen, and the teams work together. We got a lot of new pastors now. But Family Fun Day will be our way of getting them on and seeing them. Got 2 or 3 new ones that are really getting involved. The soup. Tell us these things real quick. Soup kitchen. Not your soup kitchen.
Not your typical soup kitchen. No, you walk in and there's a menu and you get to choose where you want to eat. And we serve you.
Thrift store, incredible bike program, incredible catering GED program with John A. Logan, AmeriCourse program, commodities. So, hey, Danny, how's it going, brother? We're in the middle of a show.
You're good.
No, you're good, brother. It's one of my best friends in the house. Okay. Danny, grab a seat. Do you got a few minutes to hang around?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good. Well, just hang and chill because we never cut. So
we thought you were the pizza guy.
But we thought you were the pizza guy. We didn't really order pizza.
We didn't order pizza.
Danny's a miracle. Walked in the room. He's just a miracle brother of mine. We got to do a whole show on you sometime. We'll do that. But all these great programs are been happening over 10 years. But how we started was it had been continued to talk about. But finally, a group of pastors said, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's just do it. And we did the first Family Fun Day. For those that don't know about it, we do these big things called Family Fun Day. That kind of kicked it off. And John, look at this sign here. I thought this was cool. Family Fun Day 2022.
That is.
Now we'll do one. That's 11th year. We had no sponsors for those first 5 or 6 years, dude.
No, we didn't.
Now,
Another thing, we said, let's do it. Let's get sponsors.
we didn't even do that to year 6. Somebody said, well, we ought to get some. And I'd say, we'll do it. For 2 years, they talked about it. That pastor's no longer here. For 2 years, they said, we ought to get sponsors. I said, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We were doing everything else.
Everything else.
They never did it. Finally, one year, John and I said, well, we're going to do it. And we're in charge already. And now we've got, look at all the sponsors. The higher they are, the more they give. We got people giving $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 gifts, and a lot of $1,000 and $500, and then down the bottom you see like $250 gifts. That adds up fast. There's $30,000, $40,000 of gifts right there.
Yeah.
We got people that do matching gifts. If you sponsor day, we do sponsor day out there. We have the day we make all kinds of money selling stuff on the grounds. Family Fun Day is an awesome experience, and this is last year's. Wow. Is it this year? Is it September 11th again? Or no, last year was.
I think this year will be the 10th then.
It'll be the 10th. Good. Yeah. All right. Well, last year was September 11th. We'll have a new one out real soon, but this year it's always the first Sunday after Labor Day. Mm-hmm. Check that out. Come if you're anywhere near. Be a part of all those things like family friendly, fun kid zone, live music, silent auction, cakewalk, auto show. Now we do out there. Great food trucks, local restaurants. This is where your nephew came. And he came to this experience and couldn't believe it was a fun day. The cameras are there, and it wasn't a shooting. Go back and watch the first 2 episodes. You'll hear all about that. And last year, and over the last years, we've raised, COVID, 72,000, telethon only, 76,000, 2021. I don't know what happened last year, 60,000, 650. We did good, though. But we used to raise, in the early days, 30, 28. We're now doubling that because we've got, look at this, all those sponsors. Mm-hmm. And these are because people believe in what, John, you've been doing, the team has been doing for 10 years. I want to show people something real quick here. We want to get these in. They are so good. One of the coolest things we do is we touch people's lives. I want you to hear from Hal for 1 minute and 44 seconds. Lucas is going to turn this up, and we're going to shut up for just a minute while you watch this.
Come to meet people, to talk to people that I've already met here before, and it's just a ritual of mine. I'm semi-retired, and I come here at lunch every day, and I don't know what I'd do without this place. Very good food, and the setting is beautiful, like a white restaurant, and the waitress and waiters coming up to the table and taking your order and stuff, it's just, and everybody's so pleasant. I think that they all know why they're here, and they volunteer, and they're not doing it because they have to or anything. They're doing it because that's what they want to do. They want to give away to people unconditionally. What I try to tell all these people every day is thank you. We wouldn't make it without it. And I consider this, part of me too. I've been coming here since the beginning, and during the pandemic and stuff too, and I delivered meals during the pandemic, and I just don't know, what some of these people would have done if I would have brought them meals, and myself too. It's been here for years, and it's made a lot of difference in the community, and spilling a drink on the table, across the table, and then on the floor, and it's like, you feel like a fool, but the people come up and say it's okay, and nobody complains if you spill or something, I'm handicapped too, and I spill things, and so I need people to be okay with it, so these guys are,
HerrinHouseHope.org. Find out more about that. You see Hal right there. We're just talking to Danny while he's in here. He's one of our guests in the room. He's one of my friends here. And he was just talking about how much he loves serving there. It's kind of, when you serve it, they kind of hit you and they eat, and then they kind of trickle in. You can tell the people that are really hungry, they're ready to eat because they may have not got dinner last night or breakfast even. So they're boom. Then you get the others that kind of come in and work through the day. That's how. Tell tell me a story. You know anything about Hal?
Y'all know I've known Hal since the 12 years I've been down here, and I actually met him.
He's a Texas what's the Aggie or the Longhorn fan there?
Him and I met at a 12-step meeting actually, and he's been one of actually a mentor, not just a mentor but also a sponsor as well.
You help a lot of people. I've referred people to you, or when we've had people with substance abuse problems, you've been good about getting them into a program or helping them get them in the right place and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's obviously you're dealing with people like that. So if you're somebody looking for an answer or direction, John, come see John at the House of Hope. Let him find you an accountability group or get you into a program. That's another great way. Hal's a great story about that. You got anything else to say about that?
No, he's just an awesome guy, man.
He is. I'm going to show you one more because we want you to see. Lincoln's my favorite. Lincoln, I mean, I like Hal. Nothing wrong with Hal. But check out Lincoln here
He's legit.
For a minute here. Here you go.
A lot of times I just get up and it's been a struggle, you know what I'm saying? So to come here and be able to enjoy food and stuff with good people is a blessing to me, and I feel like it's a blessing to a lot of other people, and it just means a lot. I feel warm and it's comfortable to be here, and everybody's just not judgmental, and people just here, and it seems like for the right reasons. The food is great, the cooks is great. I mean, evidently, because I come here, I haven't had a problem with anything. The food here, very flavorful, it's good. The living chicken is really pretty good here. But you know, it's just, again, it's all very good, but there's something, I'm a chicken fan, so I love chicken. I'm a big fan. So you don't get good solid meals like this every day. I mean, I don't especially, but a lot of people out there who can't afford it don't. And I just want to say this though. I'm just happy to see, you know, organizations like you guys come here and actually have the time and just take time out and have people out there generous enough to donate, you know, and the time and all this to help people like this. The service is great. Like I said, again, the people are great. I just love it. It's a great atmosphere, and it's a good place to be. And I recommend for anybody, whoever falling short or anything else like that, just to come down here and really help and see what's really going on down there, because it's a great thing. People really, really do need guys like that, and now just more and more people just follow along and pick up and see what you guys are doing in the organizations, what you guys come together. Coming together is key. When you got people coming together as one and come together, we can move mountains. And you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate everything that you guys do. And John's a great person, and you know, he comes to people, and every person, he takes his time out just to see how their day going, and that means a lot. Whenever anybody can take their time out just to say hi, because just that one simple gesture, just saying hello to somebody, could change their whole day. You know what I'm saying? It means a lot.
I've never really understood the one hello, and then I realized one Gideon made a difference in your life. Yeah, Jesus made a difference in our lives.
He planted that seed, man, and then I make it my job to plant seeds.
You got to go listen to part 2 and listen to John's story. Lincoln says, Lincoln was really wise there. I love Lincoln. When we interviewed him that day, he just kept talking, and the more he kept talking and talking, I thought when we started interviewing him that day that he was going to say a few words and quit.
Right.
And it's like it just like the oil started flowing, and he went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
And that's typical, you know, when you give individual your time, and just give them that moment to hear them out, you know.
Lincoln said when people fallen short, and you know, most people, I don't care what job you're in or how high up the ladder you are, a lot of people today are 30 days, 60 days, probably 90 days. I mean, but a lot of people are week to week. Yeah. You lose a job, you lose your ability to work. You have something, your company closes up. You're 30 days from needing a meal, needing clothes, needing a place to live, needing to retrain yourself. And some people choose crime. They get in trouble. Then it makes it even harder. You see all that at the Herrin House of Hope. And I love how he says fallen short. The Bible says all have fallen short. Romans says all have fallen short of the kingdom of God. Yeah. And I love that. He said, here's what's crazy about that picture. And the other one we watch, real food. I mean, real cooks back there. I mean, a pot cooking stuff, not a package being opened.
Right.
I mean, even when we get stuff from the food bank that's like packaged, I mean, we just figure out how to break it down and turn it into something real. You know, real pots, real food, dessert. And the little old lady making the desserts.
Dolores, yes.
Dolores, is she not a treasure?
She is. She is one of the few. Dolores, Jamie, and Jerry Beth, others have been there since the beginning.
Since the very beginning, these people, I'm going to see if I can find a picture.
Dolores,
I don't think I have a picture of Dolores. But
she's just an angel, man.
From the very early, this is
There she is.
There she is, Dolores, far left. And she's in the kitchen. She's a dessert queen.
She actually now has her granddaughter involved. She's one of the AmeriCorps members.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is she in this picture or not in this picture?
No, the other picture you had with her holding something.
There it
in
is.
the store.
In the thrift store. Let me see if I can get that up so we can get her. Is she in this one?
Yeah, that's her on the left.
Oh, that's her granddaughter. So that's a legacy happening right there. Yeah. Lives change. Herrin House of Hope. Go check that out. I'm not done. I know a lot of people think of the Herrin House of Hope as the people being served. When I think, most people think of soup kitchen, you think of these two people, but you forget though the person serving. This is Cindy from our church. Look at the smile on her face. When you think of these people being ministered to, but you forget about these young men that are being shaped as they serve. You forget about people like this, that this is their meal for the day maybe, or till the next day, and their lives are being changed. But what you don't always think about is behind the scenes. The people, whether they, even pre-AmeriCorps days, people that you're working with that they've been out of work or they've been distrusted, they've had their life broken, and now they're volunteering in the back. They've been faithful for a while. You've seen them come when they say, and they're volunteers, they're not necessarily being paid, or now AmeriCorps, they are being paid. And then somebody calls you and goes, hey, you've got employers that call you all the time now. What? Say you got somebody I can hire.
Yeah.
And we've got people that have learned through volunteer to be faithful. They can get a recommendation. I want you to hear from the other side, not the table side, but from the back side. I want you to hear from a couple of our volunteers that just really change you. Check this out.
I came just maybe a month or so after you all opened it. And the reason I came is the churches had been coming and working here, and so I knew about it, but I had not been here. So one morning, my husband and I were sitting on the couch and we were doing our Bible devotion. And so after we got our devotionals done, he said, what's up for today? What do you want to do? And I said, well, I think I'm going to the House of Hope. He said, what? I said, that's what the Lord just told me, that I needed to go to the House of Hope. He said, okay. So he came with me a couple of times, and it just really, he had other things that he would rather do. I, on the other hand, food service is all I've ever known. So it was easy for me to step in and be able to help. How do I want to explain this? I'm not necessarily here for our clientele. I am here to help the other volunteers because that's what I love to do. We've seen people, get married. They've met their husbands and wives here. We've seen them do that. We've seen them, there's been a few times that they have accepted the Lord. Seen people that have been down and out, and the gratitude that we get from them for helping them. I just can't hardly explain it. It just makes my heart swell. But the reason that I have stayed all of these years is because the feeling you get helping somebody else, and we have all kinds of people. I don't know if you remember, but we had a server that was in a wheelchair. She served tables. Don't think that you have any kind of disability that you could not help volunteer in one way or the other, because there is no disabilities. It is a joy. You see these little kids here, and we have a big one of our big families. We know that if it wasn't for us, they may not eat. No, I will say something about John, and that's because I love John, and John knows that. He's one of the reasons that I keep coming back. John has grown, guys. He was leaps and bounds from the first day that I met him until to now. I love him, and he's one of the reasons I stay.
Tell us something about that. That's Brenda. Brenda's a staple.
She is. She's an OG.
And then she talked about Doris. I was just thinking about Doris.
We lost. Speaking of Doris, you got Doris. You have
Perry.
I will never forget when we took him on a cruise. We were blessed financially.
Gosh, that was so
and
great.
I just to this day I will always praise God for that.
Yeah, that you were able to do that.
And Perry went on the cruise with us, and then not too long after that he passed away. Then you have Rex, and then you have Pastor G. You have Brother Brent. We lost so many individuals, but
but they keep on serving, and they generate.
But they
more
were
of
such
those.
a blessing too when they were alive. They were,
I mean, I think what's amazing about the Herrin House of Hope we're in our 10th year. We've done 10 years. We're in our 11th year. Well over 300,000 meals now. You serve on average of what, 36,000 meals a year.
Correct.
Are you on similar trend this year?
Yes. Yeah. On target. Yeah.
GED program, you got people attending that again. COVID's over. People are back to normal.
Yeah.
That's happening again. Thrift store, staying busy.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got stuff that's gently used, don't throw it out. Come convert it to life. Bring it here, donate it, and it could be given to somebody in an emergency,
Correct.
and it could be sold very inexpensively for somebody that can't afford it elsewhere.
Yeah.
And especially if you got coats and good pair of jeans, your kids have outgrown. You can give it a lot of places, but you can go to the Salvation Army and give it. That's fine too. But if you give it here, I promise you, we'll put it in a plate next day, and somebody can eat it. There's so many ways it can be used, and we want to tell people you can be a part of the Herrin House of Hope. You can come volunteer. Just get online, get information. We're at 112 North 14th Street. 11 to 1 each day is the time to come eat, but 10 to 1 are volunteer times. You can come volunteer. Come talk to John, some of the workers there, about how you can serve. If you've got a cook's background, chef's background, and you just want to come cook a meal once, twice a month, come talk to me. If you're a licensed food handler, we could use you. You can come. I mean, sometimes, our barbecue, I failed you when on the week of my stepdad's death. I had promised I'd come. So forgive me for that, but I do owe you one still. But I mean, we'll go in there, our barbecue team, and cook a meal. And you have other businesses in town that will provide. Tell me some of the businesses in town that bless you.
Oh yeah, Sergio's is one of them.
Sergio's has been with us since the start.
Since the beginning.
He has served food at every event we've been at for Family Fun Day. Raise money, gives you stuff all the time, right?
Yeah.
Won't take a dime for us, just gives. If you got to go to a Mexican restaurant in our region, Sergio's, you need to go spend money with him.
Yeah.
He's a good man. Who else is people?
We got Q Gardens. Yeah, it's always
Garden?
supportive. Yeah.
They've always been supportive of you.
In fact, he lets the cooks go eat there for free.
Really? So people are giving back to those that serve. That's a beautiful thing, and so much more.
Joe's Pizza.
Joe's Pizza.
Yeah.
Another one. Different people have given you stuff. Local restaurants sometimes bring in food.
Correct.
They have
Local stores such as Kroger. They bring in a lot of their bread products or dairy products.
People can't bring stuff from home. You have to be a licensed place to do that. So you can't just come and bring us chicken pot pie from your house. Right. There's rules on that. But another
cupcake lady brought you cupcakes sometimes.
Yeah.
Business.
Right?
Thank you. Granny's Cupcakes.
Yeah.
But if you're a licensed food kitchen, you can transfer food from one handler to another handler. We get a lot of that. And then the St. Louis Food Bank, you do distribution. When do you do? Let me show people that
the
picture.
Barbecue Heroes.
Barbecue Heroes. A lot of food over the years. We have provided tons of food.
Was it Panera?
Panera nowadays. They have a whole program that does that,
Yeah.
and you're able to take advantage of that. Tell us about one more time about this feeding thing that happens.
So one of the highlights of the month, every month, is our mobile market truck, and we get to look forward to that, and we get to serve you. You don't even have to get out the vehicle. You just come in, get in line with your vehicle, and we're going to ask you one question: how many families are you picking up for?
Yeah,
and we're going to load you up.
That's fantastic. It's just amazing what you are doing there, and I'm just overwhelmed of it. We do a thing every year called Family Fun Day, and I'm going to tease that real quick here. Family Fun Day is an event we do. It's been held for years at the Herrin Park, and the last few years, and this year it's going to be held at the Community Faith Church that we're hosting right here on the dock. We have a large, spacious ground, 20 acres or so, and we can do it both indoor and outdoor, whether it be rain or not. We have car show out on the grounds. We have children's zone out in the grounds. We have, I hear Bicycle Resurrection is going to still be involved this year. Still happening. God bless Pastor G and his life. He gave his life for the kingdom, and it will continue on. We have music all day. It goes from 12 to 6 and we have sponsors, and come on out. There's just so many ways. Auto show. So many ways in which you can get involved. Silent auction, different things like that. That happens this year. I want to show you the old chart, but again, we'll remind you this year it's on September the 10th. That graphic will be going out real soon. We don't want to date the show too much, but come on out, be a part of that. But you could actually donate right now. Up in that left corner, 618-249-3532. That you can take your donation anytime, and there it is right there. Don't call that number. That's our church number. We won't answer it right now. It's after hours. But if you called us, honestly, we'll tell you how to give there as well. But you can go to herrinhousehope.org and be a part of the Herrin House of Hope. Let me show you. Fun Day, people don't understand. Fun Day is how we started this. When I was with the pastors and I was coming back and they were still talking about the same thing, they said, well, we can never get money for such a thing like this. I said, my foundation called Hands of Hope started for hurricane relief for Katrina, not Katrina Rita, it was before that. It was way back. What's the one before that? Was that Katrina Rita?
Yeah, it was Katrina.
Yeah, and I was a Methodist then, and we were up north, and I just came up with the idea of Hands of Hope being a day that we could change people's life. Now it's a foundation that's doing work over all around the world. But Hands of Hope decided to have, I said, well, let's get all the churches together. We'll put our bands on the stage. We'll have stuff to sell and food to sell, and we'll do it from this time to this time. And we got, 20, 30 churches involved, and we raised $100,000. And we didn't work that hard. It was hard work to get everybody together, but the people came and had a great day.
Great day.
And we raised a lot of money, and we changed lives. And then 2 years later, we were partnered with Liberia, the conference was, and my DS came to me and said, I need you to raise some money. I said, Hands of Hope's going to have another day. And we had the whole conference, not 20 churches, the whole district came. Wow. And that day we raised $186,000. And I went and planted churches all over Liberia, Africa, that are our partner churches today. Yeah. And there's over 15 churches. They've spun off 40 other churches. And God has done amazing things through those two big events. So when I got here and the guys all said, we don't know how to raise any money, I said, well, I can do that. You just got to do what I ask. And Steve said, it's the first time anybody's offered a solution since you left. We didn't have one. So he says, I moved Troy B., the dictator and absolute monarch of the first Family Fun Day. And everybody seconded it, and everybody got a job. And at the end of that day, we raised, the first one was not just, it was big, but we had pledges for, part of the pledge of the churches was not just to give money, $1 a head per month. Their pledge was to give money through the year and then to help us do the building. And we bought what was the Illinois Cafe?
Yeah.
And over that year, we finished it. And a year later, we launched another Family Fun Day to get the money to start. The first year money renovated. The second year money, well, we began feeding people the first meal. How many meals have we done now?
Over 300,000.
Over 300,000.
It's been a roller coaster. We've taken off since the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's just been one ministry to another.
Yeah. It's
a
just
service to the community. Yeah.
Amazing. Everybody here can go to herrinhousehope.org, and you can be a part. You can come volunteer. You can come eat if you need it. Mm-hmm. Go to the thrift store. If you have an emergency, you can come. But if you want to be a part, you can volunteer. You can also just sponsor a day. I don't care where you're in the country. You can $21 a month, $250 a year. If you sponsor, you can. My wife's June 15th birthday. She has been a sponsor from day one. She was one of the first ones signed up. So I've been paying $250 for over 10 years now, 11 years. And June 15th will be the Mother Beth Day. Yeah. And that day, that $250 will be recognized as a day in which she has helped provide food along with the commodities of that day to make great meals for people. And hopefully you'll feed 130, 140, 150 people that day. And we want other people out there to know that they can be a part of that day. Yeah. And they can come, whether it's helping, whether it's cooking, whether it's serving. It can be your kids or your family. There's a lot of ways that you can be a part. And if you need help, just come get a meal, right? Been doing this for a long time. We're getting pretty good at it. John, you're doing amazing, amazing work at the Herrin House of Hope. So back again, what I said in this series, the amazing Herrin House of Hope. No better way to end season 2 than to do what we've done and celebrate what we've celebrated. Whether it be people that we're serving, like Hal and Lincoln and many more, or people behind the scenes like Brenda and others.
Yeah.
Were you going to show the teaser on that?
Oh, yes, thank you. I've got one more teaser.
Oh, yeah?
So September 10th, Family Fun Day, 12 to 6. If you don't, you think this is boring. It is not boring. Oh, yeah. It's a heck of a day. So last year, the guy that's done all these videos is Lucas. He's in studio, and Daniel Lopez. Daniel took all the highlights from the day and came back with this amazing, amazing, quick. I mean, it's only going to take us a minute. Watch this. This is Family Fun Day. See you September 10th. Check it out. 12 to 6 on the grounds of Community Faith Church. We'll give you the address in a minute. Watch this. That's Family Fun Day. Come check it out. That was last year's memories. Come be a part of making that memory this year. John, just incredible what is going on at the Herrin House of Hope. Any last words?
No, it's been rewarding, man, just to see people's lives being impacted through this organization and through the Municipal Alliance and through the generosity of our community support. So I just want to give a big shout out to our community, say thank you. And I just want to say thank our team who's been very dedicated. And,
Your volunteers, sponsors, everybody behind the scenes.
Everyone. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to impact people's lives.
Lucas, you've been a part of a lot of Family Fun Days over the years.
Yeah.
And you've been a producer for, those. What's your experience of it? What you've seen there over the years?
It's just incredible how giving people are, it's something that you see a lot of selfishness in the world, right?
Right.
Like on social media or on the news or something, right? Like people are doing something for themselves. And it's just really cool to be a part of that day where it's like, it has nothing to do with you. Right, like you're just going to give, and you're just gonna have a fun time and celebrating what you can do for other people.
Yeah, that's so great.
It's just just to highlight that, man. The whole family fun thing. What I love about that and admire, it just screams unity.
It does. It pulls us together.
Yeah.
Nobody, when I was in the room and I said, we'll do this, McEwen knew me. The reason McEwen made the motion and pushed us forward is because back when we were young youth pastors, I was a youth pastor here first initially, we did a thing called Expo Fest. And Expo Fest was a one-day music festival. Hey, we started off a music festival, Danny. Danny and I are going to Kokomo, Indiana, to, what's it called? Kingdom Come Fest. Kingdom Come Fest. It's all day heavy metal Christian festival. We did a thing called Explo Fest here in 89, 90, and I think it's 89, 90, 91. And in that festival, we just brought music to Southern Illinois for young people. We were youth pastors trying to change something. And Steve we were the ones, and another guy instigated all that then. It was the three amigos then. And now here we are again. I'm saying, hey, we can do this. These guys are like, nah, we can't do this. And McEwen says, he can do it, And so we went forward, and God has done amazing things, and
all just with faith.
All with faith. You just step out, and God meets you. God meets you and exceeds what you can expect. And John, I will be honest with you. I thought we would feed a few people every day and we'd help a few people. I had no clue that we would do GEDs. I had no idea we'd have a thrift store. We just wanted to quit cycling people around that were abusing the system and have somebody like you on the front line that could help real people with real opportunities. And the one thing about John is we don't judge anybody. You can come, but we know who really wants help and who's gaming. We know who really has a heart to get turned around and who's just scamming. Yeah. And there's nobody better that grew up on the south side of Chicago from the gang life and is now changed and turned to hope that can tell the difference.
And the rewarding of the 12 years that I'll be out of incarceration, there are so many other individuals, man. There are so many others that are doing really well. They're fathers, they're husbands, they're in church, and
we can name lots of people. I've got other people working for me that have come out of the programs and stuff, and I trust that work there. If you ever need people, talk to John. He'll give you. We won't recommend somebody that's not been faithful, but we've got a lot. I mean, it's just amazing what God has done and all that.
I just really emphasize when I go into the incarcerations, the correction centers. I just emphasize, if someone like me can change, I know you can.
Yeah.
Well, that's hope right there. That's what changes lives. Somebody being able to grab a hold of that and kind of push it forward. So we're going to see a lot of good things happen in the future. We're just really getting started. Got new strides, got new sources of income, and people believing in us, and new opportunities, and it's going to be fun to see what happens in the years to come, and all that. So it's a great story. Please, people, check it out. Go back and listen to part 1 and 2. Share this with other people. Put a challenge. Get out there. Sponsor day. You're looking for a gift to give somebody. Sponsor day in their name. Just do it. I mean, it's what a blessing. It'll be more like you shared earlier in one of the episodes about the kid saying for his dad for his birthday, I want to be part of that day and going out and buying groceries and changing lives. We need to change our identity right now. Our culture's in trouble, and the Herrin House of Hope is a bright place sometimes in a very dark moment. We're all just a few minutes from falling short, And the House of Hope's a place that can change that. Mother Beth, your comments on what you've seen. You've been a part of this whole ride.
Yeah.
I
From the
know.
day I came home and told you, oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
No, I
We
remember.
cooked
I
the
remember you
meals
guys
and-
cooking on the grill.
The first
Yeah.
6
I
weeks.
love that. That was
all
fun.
those late nights.
Well,
we
with
were
that,
cooking.
I have a restaurant background. We cook background. So for the first, I think it's 3 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3-4 months.
We
yeah.
cooked every meal for
Every
3
meal.
months,
Yeah.
Monday
You
through
guys
Friday.
were teaching
Yeah.
me.
And
yeah.
and we cooked, we trained. John cooked alongside. Others cooked along. We had
Kendra
people that
was there making soups.
Kendra came in those days and with friend and they ate the first meal and then they asked it. They were out front. And somebody said, somebody's got a question. I came out and said, we love the meal. How can we come help? And day 2, like they're in the kitchen with us.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how many people have come to get help that now are helping others. And that's what the House of Hope's really, really all about, is turning things around. One time, John will tell you something you've never heard before. I had, over the years, every now and then you get somebody that doesn't like how you're doing this or doing that, or they just think you're just too docile and just, John has got this curly thing on his head. He's like Charlie Brown. He's the nicest kid in the world. John is a fine father, a good husband, a good man of God, and I trust him in my life. And somebody was just one day just telling me he's just too nice and he gets pushed around. And I said, you really don't know who you're talking about. I said, do you know where he's from? No, I don't know where he's from. I said, he's from the south side of Chicago. He grew up in the gangs. He grew up around people who clip people for talking like you're doing about him. He grew up around violence and nothing like this. And the smile on his face is a reflection of the Jesus he's met.
Yeah.
Thank God he's met Jesus,
Yeah.
because if he met you in his older life,
Yeah.
you would not be smiling and talking about him right now.
Unfortunately.
To see, they did not know who you were and what you become is that possible and that tactile. And when I got done telling them, they said, man, I shouldn't have said what I said to him. I said, you're just fortunate he found a man named Jesus.
Yeah.
And it changed his life. And we find out there's a Gideon that introduced you to him.
Yeah.
So when you look in that next hotel room and look at that Bible in that drawer or wherever, don't ignore those things. God may be speaking to somebody out there right now. If you're out there and you're needing a second chance or you need a hope like that and you're just looking for a chance, reach out to us through our social media sites. Talk to us. Go to the Herrin House of Hope. John will talk to you. You're not ever beyond hope. It may feel like that. But the day that you stepped away from the bubble and stepped toward that Gideon and let them pray for you, you risked your life.
Yeah.
Jesus risked his life for us. And the Bible says there's no greater love. I think it's John 15:3. Is that right? There's no greater love than to lay one's life down for a friend. You laid your life down that day and you said, I don't care. You were just trying to get saved.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, the miracle multiplication has occurred. You're still making disciples and making friends. And I tell you what, I'm sitting in this room. I've known Lucas since he's a little boy. I mean, he grew up in our house. He's not a friend. He's got great parents, but he's like an extra son to me. I got a wife here that I've been married to for 35 years. I got my newest close friend, Danny, in the room. Danny's a whole nother story that we'll come talk about sometime. I'm going to Kokomo, Indiana to watch rock and roll. I'm going to watch music I don't even know if I can handle, but he's going to help me with it. So we're going to have a good time. Beth's more excited. She's so
You're
excited.
fine.
I'm going to be fine. We're going to have fun. It's going to be great. And John's been a 10-year friend of mine, 11-year, 12-year, and both of us from Chicago. He's a stinking Bears fan. I'm a Steelers fan. Mm-hmm. But I'm surrounded in this room by great people that love the Lord, and Lucas, who serves the Lord. And I just can't think of any better way to end season 2.
Yeah.
I think it's just incredible, John.
agree.
It's just a privilege to be your pastor.
Mom, move down here.
Mom,
Please.
Yes.
Okay, your mom was here at church 2 weeks ago. Did I not corner your mom up and tell her to move?
Yes.
Told her I got a room for her. What's your mom do for a living?
She does home health care.
Home health care. Yeah. We need home health care. We'll get her. We've got plenty of people to help her out, don't we?
Yeah.
Mom needs to come, bring the family. Let's get out of the south side of Chicago.
I got clients for her at House of Hope right now.
She needs to leave the south side of Chicago and come to the south side of Illinois, southern Illinois, and be a part of what's happening here. I'd love to be. I mean, we'd love to have her here. So we'll get her soon. We're going to get it done. If not, we're going to go out and have to kidnap her soon. So
Take a trailer and
yeah,
move her down.
yeah. Nobody even care in Chicago. We holler out of there. We just have to watch out. Well, we love you, everybody. Check out the rest of the show. John, so good to have you here, and we'll get you back again soon. Talk more about this thing. But it is an incredible adventure what you've done, and I'm privileged to be around the group of people I'm in this room with right now. And so we're going to be back with you very soon. We've got a lot more happening. I'm trying to find where in the world I am in the show. Go to onthedoc.org. Check us out. You'll find all of our archives there, links to everything. Email us at info@onthedoc.org if you need information on Lucas's production company, if you need information on these videos, how to get those, you want to find out more about something John did. Donna's good about getting that stuff and curating it. Go look at the description on the site where you're watching this. It might be there as well, especially on YouTube. We put a good description there on Rumble as well. And always email us. And look, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, you may be listening to this audio, but we're available on TV versions with YouTube and Rumble and SermonNet. You can see us on Roku, Google Play's audio, Facebook's video. Check those out. But we'd love to hear your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Telegram getter. If you got pictures from Herrin House of Hope or stories or testimonies, we'd love to hear it. If you just want to talk to John and get a meeting with him, reach out. We'll help you get connected. And whatever you do when you see this episode, any of our episodes, hit subscribe, like, share, comment, hit notification, tell others about On the Doc. And we're looking forward to being with you more. We would love to have you as a partner or sponsor of this show. Check those out at my Patreon. There's different levels. And we'd love to do a show on your ministry, your program, your church, your action. Just get with us and we'll help make that happen. And everybody in this room here has all been a part of the life of Community Faith Church for a long time. And we would like to invite you out. If you don't have a church of your own, 10 o'clock on Sunday, Wednesday, 6:30. Go to coftv.com. You can check out videos on our service and church. And we're located in Southern Illinois, specifically Marion, Illinois right now. And we'd love to have you. Check us out, view it on site. But get in a church, whether you're here or somewhere else. Get connected to a Bible-believing, God-fearing church that's out serving the Lord. And you can always come to the Herrin House of Hope and serve. Man, it's been a pleasure this season working with you. Lucas, thank you for all your work of producing and getting the shows out.
Yeah.
Thank you to Donna, who helps us curate that and do that. John, again, thank you for being our guest today. Mother Beth for my co-host. Ben, other co-hosts that we've had in the season this year. It's been a great season too, and we look forward to doing a lot more On the Doc. I'm Pastor Troy. We're right here in the studio. We're going to wrap it up for season 2. You'll see the best of coming at you and much more in season 3. We love you. OnTheDoc.org. Coming back at you real soon.